We all have that one group chat that gets a little out of hand, but imagine opening yours to find out you've been added to a conversation about U.S. war plans. That's exactly what happened to a journalist when Trump's top national security team used a group chat to coordinate a military strike and accidentally hit add contact on the wrong person. What started out as a quiet leak has now spiraled into one of the strangest modern national security debacles we've seen. A group chat called Signal, where top Trump officials allegedly discussed active military strikes in Yemen. The chat included the vice president, the defense secretary, and the Atlantic's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg. Yeah, he got the war text before the bombs dropped. And speaking of bombs, a lot of bombs have been dropping since. Because this encrypted messaging app Signal was not supposed to be used for such activities. According to The Atlantic, that editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, received detailed plans for airstrikes against militants in Yemen 2 hours before the operation began. He even received target lists, attack timing, and weapons details. At first, Goldberg thought it was a prank, and then the bombs started falling. That chat included Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, and CIA Director John Ratcliffe. Also appearing, Tulsi Gabbard, who dodged direct questions about her involvement in a tense Senate intelligence hearing earlier today.
Director Gabbard, did you participate in the group chat with Secretary of Defense and other Trump senior officials discussing the Yemen war plans?
Senator, I don't want to get into the specifics.
Ma'am, were you on? You're not going to be willing to address. So you're not, are you denying? Matt, will you answer my question, ma'am? You were not TG on this group chat?
I'm not going to get into the specifics.
So you refuse to acknowledge whether you were on this group chat?
Senator, I'm not going to get into the specifics.
Why are you going to get into the specifics? Is it because it's all classified?
Because this is currently under review by the National Security
Council. Because it's all classified? If it's not classified, share the text now.
As the White House previously
stated, is it classified or non-classified information on this text?
I can confirm.
Dr. Radcliffe, were you on the group chat?
Not letting him up. Meanwhile, President Trump is brushing it off, saying the Signal is, quote, the best technology for the moment, and chalking it up to a glitch.
People do get on those lines, whether it's Signal or anything else, yeah.
So are you going to change any procedures as a result of this?
Well, I mean, look, we look at everything, and, you know, they've made a big deal out of this because we've had 2 perfect months. We are bringing in business. We have another one announced tomorrow, a big one, very big. Like in the history of our country, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And I think probably a lot of people are saying they started by saying it was the greatest first month that a president has ever had, and I think that's true. And now they say it's the best second month, and they had to find something. And this certainly will look at this, but the main thing was nothing happened. The attack was totally successful. It was, I guess, from what I understand, took place during, and it wasn't classified information. So this was not classified. Now, if it's classified information, it's probably a little bit different. But I
it's just saying anything, Bill.
Literally saying anything out of that face. Like, it's the best. We've had the greatest 2 months ever.
Yeah, like that's what they're saying. I wouldn't say it, but I guess I'd agree. It's the best 2 months in history. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, like, did you not see the building of Rome? Did you miss the Enlightenment? Socrates, the pyramids?
National Security Advisor went further, shifting the blame to the press and assuaging King Donald that no one would ever risk security of the country.
Very exciting. But I think it's something you should look into.
Yes, sir, we are. We have our technical experts looking at it. We have our legal teams looking at it. And of course, we're going to keep everything as secure as possible. No one in your national security team would ever put anyone in danger. And as you've said, and we've repeatedly said, the attack was phenomenal and it's ongoing. But the media wants to talk about everything else except for the hostages you're getting out of the Middle East, Iran on its back foot, sea lanes getting reopened, peace in Europe. As we just saw today with a Black Sea ceasefire, we were just on with Steve Witkoff, myself, our team in Saudi Arabia. They want to talk about all this other stuff except for your amazing successes and the successes of your team.
One of the other things that
They know how to pivot, don't they? But while journalists and lawmakers raise red flags, the FBI has yet to publicly investigate. Experts warn that this could have violated the Espionage Acts or federal records laws, especially with auto-disappearing messages on the app not approved for classified content. Even some former military officials say that if any ordinary officer had done this, they'd be facing court-martial or worse. And let's be real, when Hillary Clinton used a private email server, it sparked years of investigations, hearings, chants, and headlines. But now we've got top Trump officials casually group chatting war plans on the Signal, and the FBI says we're good. So here's the question. What's more dangerous, using Signal for war planning or pretending that it's not a big deal after the fact? What you guys think?
Her emails.
But her emails. What you guys
I think the craziest part about this is when he said, he as in Donald Trump said that basically the strike had already happened when this text message had gone out. So it wasn't we didn't breach any security at all. Like
he said the strike was successful at the end of the day.
It was successful. We didn't breach any security. So like there's no issue here. I think what's crazy about that is that a lot of people hear that and they're like, oh yeah, he's right. Nothing bad came out of this. Nobody got it wasn't unsuccessful. It was fine. Like there's no issue here. And I think that we probably should be like, hey, let's take some accountability and say like, hey, we're going to change up some measures. Maybe we won't send certain things out in text messages, or maybe we'll do some verifications. None of that. And I do understand not letting people see you sweat, but I do think we should say like, hey, like this was an oversight. Yes, the strike was still successful. However, we will be throwing some protocols in there to make sure this never happens again. Just so you know that the American people have a little bit of security, like knowing that you're not sending a random journalist, nuclear codes and whatnot.
Here's the thing, right? And here's where I don't know, I'll probably take a little more issue than others. I've been deployed, I've been in wartime environments, and Signal is the chat. Like I was just going through my phone. We use Signal very regularly, okay? Mm-hmm. The issue is, on all the Signal chats that I've had, I've never, ever, and neither have my general officers or field officers or higher ranking personnel, none of us have ever accidentally added somebody to the chat.
So it's incompetence that you're pissed off at.
That's what it is, because you have to, after you start the chat, in order to add somebody, you got to click and then scroll through and then add them, and then you confirm your ad.
Confirmation. Okay, there's that little window that pops up that says confirm or cancel.
And how on earth? See, you're 90 years old. Put them glasses on before you get to scrolling up on that phone, and stop being so proud and use the big text.
Bill, what they say was done in the dark will be okay.
It come on out to the light.
Is that scripture? Or do I have to?
We might got to cite that source. There might be somebody with a. Never mind.
I don't know who said that. Ty, how corrupt are things right now in Washington on a scale of 1 to 10?
That's why I always get it in first. Like when we have a topic, I'll answer first, so that he can't ask me a question.
I always have follow-ups.
How corrupt are things about? To be honest with you, this is hilarious to me. And because we've gone through recent history of like any mistakes that have been made under anyone's watch, right?
Right.
Trump has been there like for the last God knows how many years since Obama was in office, like there to criticize every single move. But like to him, this is not a mistake, and we should be focused on the good things that are being done. And he's just downplaying something that, like, I know Donald Trump would have murdered Joe Biden.
Absolutely for. He wouldn't even have to.
This would have trended on Truth Social.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah.
This would have been on Fox News for a month.
I know. Like, can you imagine how they would have ripped, I mean, torn
This will be
that
gone by
White
next
House
week.
pieces if something like this would have happened. I mean, they would have been beside themselves. They would have been on the news crying about how their security is at risk and how at this point they need to. I guarantee you, articles of impeachment would have gone out if this was under Joe Biden. I guarantee it. But for Donald Trump doing, no big deal. Like, I mean, literally nothing he does is a big deal to these people, and I just find it.
I will say though,
right? Like, what else can you do with it?
One thing that I will say that one of the reasons why I think this stuff goes away, because he gets in front of these things too. I do think that if this was like a Joe Biden thing, he would let them drag it out. Like, he wouldn't offer like a statement or whatever. Donald Trump's going to give you an excuse no matter what. Like, no matter how crazy the situation
is. Things about thinking. So other people have to calculate it, and they have to think, and they have to
they have to workshop it. They have to make sure that
exactly.
He doesn't do that.
There's a process. They'll stick a camera in his face. He'll go, no big deal. We're keeping that under the rug.
Did y'all see him come up with an answer right then and there?
He didn't consult with a soul before.
Not one person. He said, "Yeah, we are."
Yeah,
and
Signal is the most secure app that anyone has ever used in the world. Okay,
and I'll take it a step further. I don't think he's just talking just to talk. I think he genuinely believes what he's saying too, and that's why I think so many people believe it too.
He's so good at deflecting.
I don't think that he believes it.
I'm going to tell you right now, Donald John Trump has never. He don't even know where Yemen is. Okay, he's never seen an attack in Yemen. Most presidents, when an attack happens, they are sitting in the situation room and they are watching it as it happens. That they brought him a piece of paper, he signed it and whisked them away. They went and bombed the hell out of Yemen, and he was just like, "Oh, what happened? Oh, wait, what? It's on the news now? How do they know?"
Let me text my friends.
He said lemons? Like, what is
Let me text my group chat. That's what he said. Let me get to the group chat and see what happened.
The GC.
And did you hear? And Mr. President, they're not focusing on the one little thing that you've done.
Get up.
What they doing down? What they doing down, Jason?
They down there.
Like, oh my God.
Down there looking for screws on the floor.
Like, no, Trump really is our king. That's just crazy. Like, I don't think
they acting like it.
They are.
Like, we're
like whispering in the king's ear, like little distractions. Sir, don't listen to them. They're just jealous because you had the greatest months in history. Like, what are you talking about?
No, don't worry, you're the fairest of them all. Snow White can never be as beautiful as you. Like,
they're legit walking into him, and they're like, "Sir, do you have the heir ready for the throne?"
No one would ever, your national security people, we would never put the nation in danger.
Kill them, Your Majesty. You must kill them all.
It's like Jafar. Like, what are you talking about?
They're all Iago, and he's Jafar. That's what it is.